Hello and happy Sunday. Live from Mexico. Here we are again. I have no idea if this video is going to come out pixelated, which is why I invite you to listen in. Maybe it's time to close your eyes and just listen in and not look at a pixelated screen. Which is quite funny because today's topic is actually a little bit about listening and listening to your body, listening to your intuition. And I'm so excited to be here today, again, live next to me, with Roma, who is all about mastering the mind and all about finding your intuition. And it's her first Facebook Live, and it's my second here now. So it's like we're both like, oh! So I'm going to introduce you.
Yeah. Oh my God. Well, hello, I'm here. Coming out. I feel like I'm coming out of the closet or something. And I also feel like I'm speaking to 7.5 billion people, but actually I'm probably only speaking to about 10. So good.
Oh, this is really exciting for both of us to be here. It's a new start. And yeah, I'm really happy to have you here.
Thank you.
And I feel for both of us because I'm like oh, my heart's going again. That maybe we just tune in and create that safe container by imagining a bubble of glowing light just covering us and taking out what doesn't serve us and bringing in what does. So you've already closed your eyes. I also close my eyes and invite you to close your eyes too. And I'll start by taking out fear. What would you like to take out of this?
Take out the judgment and doubt.
Yeah, I was going to say that, the nervousness. And I'd like to bring in enthusiasm.
For me, trust.
Love.
And joy.
So keeping in that space of joy, trust, love, and enthusiasm, I invite everyone to join in into this conversation and open up the space to what is it that you feel like you wanted to share, because I mentioned about listening into ourselves and this deep inner knowing, and I know that you have so much to share, so I'm really excited to hear what you would like to talk about that may inspire someone to.
I think I'm still in the process of, and I think we always will be in our lives, of mastering my mind and my thoughts. I used to be really controlled by my mental afflictions and negative thoughts about myself and others and life and yeah, it's been a really beautiful journey of understanding how the mind works and how it creates our experience and our outcomes, our future. And we were just reading earlier about how a decision you make isn't really going to determine the outcome, but it's more of how you think about that experience, how you evaluate it, or how you think about it, that will determine the experience.
Rather than going over and over.
Yeah, or well, you can go over it, but how do you go over it? Do you worry about it? Do you have the doubt, the fear? And that's going to 90% of the time determine the experience.
Mm.
So the mind is like a huge, amazing tool for creating, but it also can block you from many, many things, from creating abundance and just happiness.
Mm.
And I mean abundance in like in inside, inner abundance, not necessarily anything material. And oh my God, I'm seeing all these people. Hello.
Hello. Matthew.
Hi, Matthew. Hi. Yeah, and I used to be a person that like was always would look at things half empty rather than half full, and lots of fear, and then from fear came, you know, frustration, anger, the works. I had it all. And
so how did you bring that being in the mind into the heart space?
Well, a lot of plant diets, but no, yes, yeah. I mean, I wouldn't even necessarily say that it is always about stepping into the heart space, but more just about being really aware of what you focus on, because the mind is like a focusing tool. And I can either focus on you right now, and it's just you, Amanda, your beautiful eyes, how pretty you are, or I can like have my mind in 5 different things and not really be present, and not be in the like the present moment is really, you know, all the spiritual people say that the present moment is the point of power, right? Like if you're not present and you're worrying about the future or what happened in the past, then you're not really creating from the place of power, which is right now. And that you don't necessarily need to be in the heart, but of course the heart space is the space where there is no judgment in a way. It's like, you know, it's a part of us that goes beyond this world and dimension. Yeah, and definitely like now in my life I'm really aware of like where I'm focusing my mind, and if it's not in the right place, then I go and I like take time out, and I go and do some visualization exercises or meditations that help me shift my perspective on something or my focus on whatever my worry might be.
And how did you start this though? Where did it start?
Where did it start? Oh my God. Just, you know.
Or even like knowing like, okay, now, okay, it's happening. How do I do the stop and do visualizations? When, in what moment did you realize, okay, that's really going to help me to shift?
What moment? I mean, when I started seeing that it works and that it is fairly simple, but it's like the mind is like how do you say, like an untamed, oh no, like it can be like an undomesticated dog where you're like, it's everywhere. You're like wreaking havoc all over your life.
Yeah.
And then slowly you train the dog to like sit, like I sit, okay, sit again, and then it goes up, sit.
That's my meditation right now. I drift off in Wonderland and it's like, oh my God, come back.
Yeah. And I mean, we're always going to have to be doing that. Even the sages have said, like, you know, the most spiritual being who is like meditated in a cave for 7 years, he'll still have the mind and he'll still have those thoughts running through, but it's how much we attach to them. And letting them go gently, like clouds in the sky.
But it's easier said than done.
Oh yeah, totally. But the more practice you do, it's like a muscle. The more practice, the more you gain control of those mind afflictions that don't really serve us. But I find the huge way to work with the mind is through imagination and like I said, visualization. but of the positive things, the things that you do.
Beautiful.
And anything you want to share, what you've been going through the mind?
Oh my
So,
God.
putting her on the spot here.
I've been dealing a lot with the mind. It's taken definitely control of, the way I feel, the way I look, the way my body, for me, it comes through any physical pains that I have. And I have to say that the last month, I'd say, has been really tough because we both just went to Peru and came out of a master plant diet, and that's kind of what I've been working on, is the mind and taming it. And coming back here, for me, what has helped has been the mantras, and has been the meditations, and it has been the conversations, to really like open up the conversation, and rather than playing that story over and over and over again in my head, and then creating all these different scenarios, and it's like, just bleh it out.
She does that.
Or because I keep it in. I keep in the stories, and it's like, and then it goes all in the mind, and I play my own movie, and I drift off, and then exactly what you're saying, that I'm not in the present moment. I'm just thinking of the past, or thinking about the future, and so for me it has been really about I guess it's that we talked about before, the trust, and also to listen in and trust that voice that comes in, and then go, no, calm, bring in, go back to the breathing, and that's been it really for me.
And I think you like brought up a really good point, the breathing, like finding an anchor point to anchor the mind into something. So then if it does go away, then come back, and go away and come back. And that can either be through, like a breathing practice, focusing on one point, like they're called one-pointed meditations. And the mantras are kind of that too. You're like focusing your mind on one thing, which is that mantra, that vibration, until your mind starts to, get more focused into one thing. And then you find that you do in your day-to-day have more focus and more stillness, more equanimity. And something that came up as you were talking, one of my teachers, maestros, he says, like the mind is an incredible thing. You can create a masterpiece with the mind. You can create like beauty and films and books, and it has an amazing imagination, but it also can create wars and like really, really dark, well, not dark, how do I say, stuff that isn't so good, and and that can come, like like you were saying, that if you don't maybe communicate, or you don't know how to communicate, or you find it hard to communicate your feelings and emotions with another, it just stays in your head, and then the mind can create a huge story that maybe isn't even true.
I was just thinking, like, kind of like a sequel, and it just keeps going, keeps going, and then it's like I have more Harry Potter movies in my head.
Is that, should we end it here?
It's 14 minutes.
Oh my God!
We've been live 14 minutes.
Like, no, we can't do that long. I could go on, but no, I think we'll end it there, maybe.
Yeah, we'll end it there, and we'll be probably doing more.
Yeah, perfect.
And we'll let you know when the two of us have a Romanda show.
Yeah, now that I'm out.
So thank you for tuning in. Have a beautiful Sunday. And if you want to find out more about Roma and how to master the mind, where can they contact you?
They can contact me on +52 155 387 90155. No. Or hello@emissariesoflight.co, if you know how to spell that.
I'll put it in the comments.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, thanks, guys.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.
That was fun.